Tired of people's opinions about what should be on your resume? Stay tuned as we discuss objective ways to get good content onto your resume. Hello, my name is Jesse. I'm an employment specialist. On this channel, we go over basic job search skills. Full disclosure, I'm an employee of Epilepsy Toronto, helping job seekers with epilepsy look for, obtain, and maintain meaningful employment. Today, we're going to talk about the resume T Bar method, which is used for generating content for your resumes directly from job postings. Also, stick around for bonus content. Later on in the video, we have a resource that you can use to pull keywords directly out of job postings much faster. Links to resources are going to be in the description below. You can also use the timestamps to jump around from place to place to specific content that you want to look at. All right, it's time to get started. If you've never had a resume before, or this is the first time that you're creating a resume, or you have a resume that you just want to make sure that the content is actually very well tailored to the job you're applying for, this is a great exercise to use. Before we used to do this a lot by hand, but then I'll show you the resource at the end that can actually accelerate the process quite quickly. So this is an analysis that you want to do with each resume that you have and see if it's geared for the particular type of job you're applying for. So if, say, you're going for a career in banking, but you might need a survival job in the meantime, I suggest having a resume geared towards, say, retail or customer service, and then another resume specifically geared towards banking. This way, you have tailored resumes to both jobs, and you don't run the risk of getting eliminated from either. All right, with that, we're going to jump on the computer. In order to get started, the first thing we do is we need to create the grid. So we're going to go up here and we're going to go Insert Table, and we're going to want to do a few things. So we're going to want to have something that shows what side of the T-bar we're on, and then we're going to want to have a space for content. Now, the space for content we want to divide in two, and one of those is going to be what they have in the job posting called the qualifications. And the other is going to be what's down in the tasks and responsibilities, basically what the hiring manager wants. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3 down, and then we're going to go 2 across so that we have a grid of 6. Step 2, we're going to want to go and get some content. But before we do that, we're just going to quickly label this. So job postings, and this side will be resume. A great place to go get postings is Indeed. And because it's an aggregate job board. So a lot of job postings that appear in other places are also posted on Indeed, and then they get disseminated elsewhere. So we'll go ahead, and we are looking to help someone find an accounting job. So we're just going to put that in there, accounting. And we are from Toronto, so we're going to put that in there. And find job. Then you got AR as well, so that's accounts receivable, and down here we got accounting intern, urgent hire. So this is a new feature that's in the Indeed. So we're actually going to just stick up here, and we're going to go maybe accounting associate, and you're going to want to pull some duties here. So you can see that most job postings were split into multiple sections. So there's always something up here a little bit about the company, and then you go down here, we have a section on responsibilities or tasks or skills, and then a section down here on qualifications. Now I know they call it here skills and experience as opposed to qualifications, but it's essentially the same thing. They're looking for how much experience a person has, which they name there. They want to talk about softwares and so forth, and soft skills. And here's some education as well. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to start to copy and paste this into the job posting, but we're going to do one section at a time. So we're going to start with the skills and experience, and we're going to put that right here. And then we're going to go back to the job posting. We're going to go up to where it says responsibilities, which is basically what the hiring manager actually wants done. This is what human resources looks for. This is what the hiring manager wants. So we're going to copy and paste that down there. Now we want to gear this towards an industry and not just towards one particular job. So we're going to go and we're going to pull 5 different job postings from 5 different companies. This way we get a nice cross section of what 5 different hiring managers are looking for and what 5 different recruiters are looking for. And then later on, we're going to put it over here in the resume section. This is going to become the professional profile. And down here, this is going to be what needs to be illustrated in skills and definitely within the jobs part of the resume. Now we are at step 3, and we've gone ahead and gotten various job postings and we've put all this information into the same document. But now we want to take it a little bit step further, and we need to condense this down because there's a lot of duplicates here. So someone here is asking for completion of a post-secondary degree in accounting and finance. This would be considered a benefit, right? Other people, it's mandatory. So here you've got the same thing over again. And then you scroll down there, they're saying they want 5 years experience. Some of them want licenses or accreditations. Go down here, they want 3 years experience. This organization wants a bachelor's is preferred. So you want to go through and condense these down so that you have a straightforward list and there's less repetition. And you want to do the same thing again with your responsibilities as well. And through the power of movie magic, we have been able to condense this list in no time at all. So here is your condensed list. As you can see here, we've got very similar stuff here. So we got experience, accounting environment. We've got post-secondary diploma and degree from recognized business program. Multiple of them asked for professional designations. That's here. And then we have some soft skills as well. And then we have some softwares and some communication skills. Then down below, we've got various tasks such as full cycle accounting. We also have bank reconciliation was a common one as well. AP and AR, also known as accounts receivable and payable, really good stuff. So we got quite a nice cross section of information. Now, what we want to do is we want to start creating content. So it's nice that we've got this great list, but what we need to do is actually start to enter the information over here. And we're going to call this professional profile. And we're also going to start a similar bullet point system. So 1 addresses 1, 2 addresses 2, 3 addresses 3, and so forth. Now, there's some of these we may not choose to address. So say someone has a preferred designation, we may choose to put CPA or CMA in the resume up in the name section afterwards. So we may choose to display it that way as opposed to it being in the professional profile. We could also do a number of things. We're probably going to integrate some of these soft skills into the actual points themselves down here and disperse it throughout the resume. That way we avoid soft skill lists. We're going to go ahead and start entering this information. You can see here what I've done is I've segregated a few things and added some context. So this is the application of these requests. So if you look here, we've got 1+ years experience in full cycle accounting. The candidate I'm working for has 3 years. We've got here post-secondary education or diploma. The person has a college degree and so forth. They are certified in MS Excel. So there's an actual certification for that. They've used QuickBooks and Sage. There's other stuff that's listed here, and perhaps my candidate hasn't used it or hasn't told me that they've used it. I'm going to make another video later on how you can disperse soft skills within your resume so it doesn't come across as just a list and regurgitating back to the employer what they've already written. And down here, we've got a number of different points that they have spoken of. So they said they wanted full cycle accounting. We're already highlighting this in the profile because up here they said they want full cycle accounting experience. So we're addressing that in the professional profile. So we can already skip one because we're going to be addressing that in the professional profile. Number 2, perform month-end reconciliations with banks, accounts, credit cards, and so forth, and then list the company. So now I know which company this particular candidate did that in, and that's where we're going to put that bullet point is under that particular company. So at the end of the day, you can actually start to generate these into points for your resume. You don't have to copy and paste any of this stuff, and you can make these much more achievement or outcome oriented. And here's the two documents side by side. This is the analysis that we were doing earlier, and this is the resume here that the candidate gave us. Now, we want to enhance the professional profile a little bit, and we want to take the information out of here and make sure it goes into jobs. This is a shortened resume, so generally speaking, there would be more jobs and more education and so forth. But for the sake of this video, this is a fair size. So going through from top to bottom, there's a number of things that we can do. There used to be this clunky statement that people would put at the top of the resumes. For a while, it was called an objective statement. Generally speaking, that has become less important over time, and it has literally become the job in which you're applying for or the profession that you have. So we're going to take that out. And this person is an accountant because they have had experience as an accountant. So we're just going to do that. So accounting / bookkeeping. Okay, so that's one. With the LinkedIn account, there's this really clunky long LinkedIn URL, and we're going to do a nifty little trick here. We're going to go to LinkedIn, we're going to click link, and we are going to drop that as an address. That is now a link, and if you click on it, it takes you straight to the person's LinkedIn account. It's a little bit cleaner in terms of your profile, so that's always a good bonus. Now we come down to the professional profile, and we see here there are things that are missing from this list that we had identified as part of our analysis. So 3 years of full cycle accounting experience. So we're going to simply put here over 3 years experience in full cycle accounting. When I spoke to this person, they were actually part of a team of people. So they're part of a cross-functional team. So we've already in a few seconds, functional. Already we've identified teamwork, and we've even identified the type of team that they were on. So we've already included one of the soft skills in there. We don't see education on here. So, and the reason that this is important is even though we list it later on in the posting, it may be on the second page. Sorry, list it later on in the resume, it may be on the second page. The point here is that anyone who's doing a screening goes to the professional profile to see if they're qualified first. So you want to have at least a one-liner in there about education. So obtained CPA level 3. I don't know if enough about CPA to know if they need the full designation, like it needs to be CPA level something for them to put it next to their name. So I'm just going to leave that there for now. But maybe I'll do this. And knowledge of, because there's down here in this document, we identified GAAP, which stands for Generally Accepted Accounting Principles. And that's not in the resume as it stands, but it is something that was identified in the in our analysis. So knowledge of, and we're going to capitalize this because it is a proper term. And because this is an acronym, we want to make sure it picks up the acronym. So we're going to do this. And that's good for applicant tracking systems, because if the applicant tracking system searches for this, but not this, or this, but not that, it will at least have both in there. Okay, now soft skills. We got a soft skills list here. Friendly, passive, I think that was supposed to be passionate, creative, good communicator, detail oriented. So some of these are good and some of them are not appropriate. So friendly is nice, but that's something that comes out more during an interview. So we're going to take that one out. Everyone's passionate about something, so we're going to take that out. Creative, we're going to take out. Creativity is not generally something that goes well with accounting. Jokes aside with that one. Good communicator, that is important. I'm going to think about where we might put that one. So I'm going to put that one in the parking lot for now. In fact, because that is a really important one, I'm going to put it over here for the moment. And we will come back to that one. Detail-oriented is already identified in our list, so I'm just going to remove this whole line for now. All right, advanced knowledge of Excel, Word, Outlook, and PowerPoint. So through our analysis and talking with the candidate, we determined that they actually were certified in MS Excel. So we want to make sure that we highlight the certificate in this as well. And I believe actually they were also a specialist in Word as well. So as opposed to going advanced knowledge, what we can do instead is go, okay, so that, and you specifically now outline the fact that they are certified Microsoft Office specialist in Excel and Word. Okay, so proficient in QuickBooks and Sage. You know, sometimes it might be better to add a little bit of context. So proficient in accounting software, including QuickBooks and Sage. All right, and that's the professional profile done. So in number 2, we see here it says perform month-end reconciliations, including bankings, accountings, and credit cards. Through my discussion with this person, what I learned is a lot of this has to do with the accuracy of the general ledger. So we're going to enter that in. So this is an outcome statement, and this part here is the outcome, ensuring the accuracy of the general ledger by, and then what action they took. So performing bank and credit card reconciliation. You know, so this is a good statement to start off any job with, because it tells the reader that they have an understanding of a relationship between an outcome and an action. It also speaks to some of the things that we identified here in terms of soft skills. So detail-oriented and accuracy go hand in hand. Now, I know it's not the exact same wording, but generally speaking, you're not going to search for soft skills in applicant tracking systems. This comes out later on when a person is reading the resume. Let's quickly go over some of these other points here for the resume, and I'm just going to make it a little bit bigger so it's easier to see. So we have processed weekly payroll for both hourly and salary employees after reviewing timesheets. We have journalized and processed accounts payable and receivable, and created a new employee expense submission procedure. There's a few things that we can do with this. So in terms of payroll, the first question that jumps to my mind is, how many employees? Is this a big company? Is it a small company? So it's really good to put down some metrics in there. Journalized and processed accounts payable and receivable. This is a great place to have an outcome statement, because these things both have to do with cash flow. Accounts payable and receivable is basically how much money someone owes you and how much money you owe other people. Created a new employee expense submission procedure. This is perfect for an outcome statement because it starts with the word created and it's new. So you can really jump and sink your teeth into that. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to change a few of these around. All right, so we've gone ahead and made some changes. So we added some metrics to this first line. So reviewed timesheets and processed weekly payroll for 3 hourly employees and 4 salary employees. Yes, we're talking about small numbers, but it's good to have some metrics there. We added a point about vacation time because that was one of the lines here about verifying and tracking vacations. It was part of the job, it just wasn't in the resume, so we added it in. We also did an outcome statement about accounts payable and receivable. So we talked a little bit about improved cash flow. And then this last line, we talked about decreasing inefficiencies in the employee expense submission process by introducing a new system. But we thought we would call it an organized system, and that way we actually integrated one of the soft skills that's listed here. So overall, we got some pretty good points. So just a quick summary of what we've done with this resume. We took a very long LinkedIn URL and we shortened it into a link. We've also replaced the very large objective statement with a very simple accounting and bookkeeping. This is a great for recruiters so that they know exactly what kind of job this person is looking for. With the professional profile, we've greatly enhanced some of the skills in the profile based on the results from the T-bar method that we see here. We've also taken some of the information from the responsibilities section of the T-bar chart, and we've integrated it into the first job here. And we have also added some metrics, and we have found ways of integrating different soft skills in there. We're going to do another video on soft skills later, exclusively on how to generate points with soft skills and integrate them properly. But this is already a great start. And that's how you can get content out of job postings specifically for your resume. Now, I want to talk to you a little bit about that bonus resource. So I like to be a little lazy. What I meant to say was I like to be time efficient. So what this bonus resource does for you is it allows you to pull all the keywords out of the job posting without you doing all the hard work of going through each posting with a fine-tooth comb. After you've copied and pasted 5 job postings into a Word document, you want to go to Word Cloud Generator. This is monkeylearn.com/wordcloud. And we're going to go back to our job posting list, and we are going to copy all this great information from different employers, and we are going to go back here. We're going to paste it in, and we're going to click Generate Word Cloud. Now, this creates a word cloud. This is a list of all the keywords, and it gives you up to 50. So we're actually going to increase that volume straight to 100. So these are the top 100 keywords, and the larger the word, the more times it's used. So if multiple employers are using it, so 5 employers said payroll, or at least it appeared 5 times in the different applications. Now you can go based on this list and take a look here. So strong analytical, full cycle accounting, balance sheets, finance manager. You know, these are, of course, finance manager might be the person you're reporting to, but this is a great place to see the different skills. Now, here's a neat little trick. You go over to download datasheet CSV, and this will give you an Excel document. So you want to click on that one, and it comes up and it gives you the word here, and then it gives you the word count. Now, what I like to do with this is we can go over to filter and insert filters on here, and then you can go through and click largest to smallest. And now this gives you a list of the different words that are being used. So anything here on this list for the first couple absolutely should be on your resume. If you see it more than once, it absolutely should be on there. If you see it only once, and there's quite a few of these here that there's in there only once. So commission rates, for example, that might be specific to a very particular job posting or very particular team. It might be coupled with, say, the job posting that has the sales team. So, but this gives you a nice cross section of the different keywords and skills for this industry. This is also a great technique because it will tell you what applicant tracking systems generally search for in terms of keywords, and you want to make sure each of these is on your resume. You can also go to, when your resume is complete, you can go here into Microsoft Word, and you can click Find, and then you type the word. So we saw in there payroll. Oops. Make sure I spell it correctly. So payroll, and then it will jump specifically to the section where it sees it. And it's in there. We know it's in there 5 times because this is actually the raw data list. But we see here payroll. There it is again. So it highlights it. So it makes it very easy for you to take a look back at what's on your resume and make sure that it's there. If you enjoyed today's content, please show your appreciation by giving us a big thumbs up. Also consider subscribing for more content as it comes out. We'll see you next time.